Gothic girl here again with another toxic ex story. Seems like this is all I got for right now. I'm sure there's other stories, but I'm just gonna go ahead and tell these toxic ex stories while they're, fresh on my mind. Let's see. It's summer, school's let out, and Harley has been talking to him, all summer. Like, they never stop talking. And like, he decides, oh, well, he wants to date her again. And why she even gives him the time of day, I don't know. Because, like, she feels like that connection. Like, he is the one. But he keeps rejecting her. Like, she has to keep trying to make him fall in love with her, make him want her, and blah, 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 Anyways, here we go. They're dating again, and Harley's, listening to love songs again, and, feeling so great about herself because she feels like only he can make her happy. But she didn't love herself, and if you don't love yourself, you can't be happy with someone else. You have to be happy by yourself as a person before you can be happy with someone else. Anyways, Harley had to learn this hard way. But she just felt so complete because he was giving her time of day and making her feel so special and being, lovey-dovey and all of that, and saying, oh, he thinks about her all the time and all that. And he says that him and his family are gonna go camping, I think for a weekend. I'm not sure. But he completely stops talking to Harley. And Harley's like, oh my gosh, what is wrong? Did his phone die? Blah, blah, blah. Well, Harley had connections through relatives. Like, she was keeping tabs. And, of course, the relative that lets it slip. Oh, he's talking to so-and-so, and he's been seeing so-and-so, and yeah. Well, at this point, Harley is furious and crying and screaming and, just so upset because he's done it again. And, so she's like, okay, she's gonna blow up his phone till he answers. Like, keeps on blowing his phone up. He answers, and he tells her, no, hang on. He breaks up with her. That's what happens. He breaks up with her. He sends a text message and says, that he didn't think, like, this is how he spelled think. It's think. Thank. Because, she kept all his text messages on her iPod and all that. Like, she has a photographic memory. She can remember stuff like that. But he says, I don't think we need to be together anymore, or something like that. And, of course, Harley just wants to know, why? What's your excuse now? What did she do now? And then, he doesn't send anything else. Not, I'm sorry, nothing. He's like, oh, I'm going to break up with Harley. I'm going to hook up with this girl. And I'm going to go right back to freaking Harley. But Harley's devastated. He's not answering her, phone calls, text messages, all that. She decides she's going to make him talk. She's going to make him answer her, because all she wants to know is why. So she's calling and calling and calling. Of course, it's pissing him off. And this new gal's right beside him. Right beside him. And he answers and says, "What do you want?" And of course she's like, why do you feel this way whenever you felt oh so great about a relationship, blah blah blah. And he's like, "You're psycho," and all of that. And of course she hears the little girl in the background just giggling and ha ha ha, like it's so funny that, you know, you get dumped because of another girl. Like, and I'm just gonna say, girls, please don't participate in someone's heartache like that. Because if he will do that to another girl that he says that he loves oh so much and plays so many games and always comes back to her, he's going to do the same thing to you. Anyways, Harley is devastated. You know, she keeps on and on and on. He finally, you know, cuts his phone off, and she doesn't get to talk to him, but she has connections with the relative, and she stays with that connection because, like, she cares about that person, his relative, very much like her own family. But her heart was broken. And of course he come running his butt back after, you know, his fling ended. And then another situation is he stopped talking to her again, and then he found a picture of this girl that he was messing with on dadgum MySpace. How she found it, I don't even know. I think her sister might have told her. I'm not sure. Because, I mean, he bragged about everybody that he dated and all of that. And it's just completely horrible that you do this to somebody. But please do not be someone's doormat. Don't be a beck and call person. Don't, you know, sell yourself short like that. You matter. Harley wishes that she could have gone back and, you know, fixed that what she didn't feel about herself. Because she was humiliated so many times, and she kept doing it to herself. She allowed this to happen over and over and over. She knew it was never going to change, but she had that one little ounce of hope that it would. That he would finally see her as who she was, and that she was his soulmate, and she was going to, you know, walk through fire for him if, you know, he asked her to. She would have laid down her life for him at the time. Because she was, you know, she fell in love with him, as she thought, but it wasn't love. I mean, it was puppy love, but not, you know, real love. It was more like a lustful rejection, love-hate kind of relationship. But please, the moral of this story, if somebody literally doesn't say your worth, just don't give them a time of day to keep hurting you. You're only going to hurt yourself over and over and over again. Because if you don't see your worth, they're not going to. Sometimes they never will. And they'll keep doing the same thing over and over and over again until you say no more. But that's all of this story.